freedom isn't something that you chase. It's something you align with. I was just talking about that with the North Star. When your North Star is clear, your money follows that meaning. And I can truly say that this abundance thinking of there will always be more to help you follow that passion and that purpose. It's in the old adage, do what you love and you won't want for money. We're getting a chance to live it out now, which has just been amazing. And Purpose does give direction to all of those freedoms. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of What's Next with Bryan Finnerty. And as you can tell by the lovely glow on my face, maybe some tan skin, I am back from almost 4 weeks on the road, all vacation, and quite frankly, living the dream of having the freedom to do that. And we're going to talk about that today. And I'm maybe going to give you a different twist on how I see freedom from that perspective. That's what we're going to reflect on. So I share these events, not in a bragging way, but kind of a realization of what I got to come back with and hopefully what I'm going to share with you today. Over the last 3+ weeks, I've had the great fortune of being in the mountains in Colorado at the Broadmoor to a week with our friends who have a place in the Bahamas, followed by 2 days straight from there to Oktoberfest in Munich, and then almost 2 weeks to go visit our son, Owen, who's playing pro soccer there in Dusseldorf, and watch him live out his dream. And if there's one thing I kind of got a chance to really see from the mountains of Colorado to the beaches of the Bahamas to the soccer fields in Germany was the one thing that I've been chasing, living, teaching, and really just trying to have a part of my life is that I truly enjoy freedom. I love the freedom of entrepreneurship. I love the freedom that comes with being able to choose where the destiny takes us. And it is about that journey, right, of being on this sort of freedom journey. And a lot of that was really distilled down for me about a year and a half ago, when I joined Strategic Coach, which I've talked about plenty of times on this show. And Dan Sullivan does a great job of kind of lining out what freedoms are. And so I'm going to just set the table with his 4 levels of freedom. You've got the freedom of time. Can you manage your schedule? Can you really get a hold of the things that are constantly pecking at us for our attention and our time? That's the first level of freedom. Can you manage your time? Second level is the freedom of money. Have you really figured out a way to go make money where you're not just trading time for it, right? Because if you're only trading time for money, then actually you're still being controlled by that time. But when you start making money, mailbox money, sleep money, other investment money, where you're not having to trade your time for it, you can then use the excess money to buy back some of your time. That's that stacking ability. And then when you're sort of mastering that money side of freedom, not that we ever probably really fully get there, but then you start to be able to choose who you surround yourself with, ultimately choose. You don't have to go punch the clock with somebody that you don't want to be with. You don't have to take that client you don't want to be with. You truly have the freedom to build relationships in work and in life with the people that you want to be with. And I'm going to talk about that. And then ultimately that leads to this freedom of purpose, right? What's our passion? What are we really about? That North Star in our life, that when we've mastered time and money and relationship, we get to live in alignment with this purpose. So that's what we're going to dive into today. Hopefully it's beneficial to you. This is going to be kind of a short quip, no guests, just me speaking and pouring in what my experiences have been. We all start out at the Broadmoor in Denver, which was just amazing. And I get 6 days there to spend with the executive team and donors and fundraisers and people who have poured into Young Life. They're on a mission to bring the word of Christ to the youth around the world, millions of youth around the world, which we couldn't be more thrilled to be a part of. And in that time we got to spend there and the freedom to be there, we were surrounded with those who are part of Young Life as their vocation, and they are leading with faith. They are taking their time and placement and leading with faith. And then, as I mentioned, we got to spend a week in the Bahamas with our friends, the Keenan, and spend a bunch of time in sunshine and laughter and conversations that really matter. And then those 10 days in Germany with Owen, where he's living out his dream. And somewhere in between all of that, we found that living in alignment is really about tuning into that North Star. And again, that's what we're going to pour into. And I talk a lot about this in episode 3 with Marissa. You can find it there. Episode 8 with Jeremy Eisenberg. And the last episode 35 with Marcelo Balboa, really going through his life and being realigned to his North Star. So you can check in any of those episodes to kind of see what I'm talking about. But all of that to say, this started out at the Broadmoor. If you've ever been there, it is just an iconic and cool place out west, set in the mountains of Colorado Springs. And we were around some people who say yes to this experience of being on a mission to bring the gospel to, quite frankly, a bunch of youth and communities who just aren't getting it. And to be sitting in there watching and listening to people who choose to spend their time to do that was really just fulfilling for us. And more than that, it gave Denise and I the ability to kind of look at how our resources are aligning with that purpose of being aligned with Young Life. And so for that, we were really gifted, just first and foremost, to have the time to sit there. And I think Dan Sullivan says this best, that the purpose of money is to free you from the things that steal your joy. The purpose of money is to free you up from the things that steal your joy. And nothing brought us more joy than that week than to be around people who were just living this mission around Young Life and being surrounded by others who were along the same path. So the start to this culminating trip was just to realize that freedom of having the time to do that. We stopped chasing the more of this world, and we started really spending time of investing in our time to build meaning. So for Denise and I, that was just a great foundational week to start. From there, headed off to the Bahamas, which, in this sort of spirit of we have this time that's been invested. We've got the financial freedom to make some choices, to still have businesses that are operating, but then have some relationships with people that have been lifelong friends going back to college, and just to pull some laughter together. And good friends do really mirror your best self. They want to root for you, pull you higher, challenge you of where you're going, but more than anything, celebrate your wins. And if you don't have that in your life, I would encourage you to maybe prune out some things that might not need to be there, friends, relationships, so-called friends, and start building that network. As the old adage goes, you are the sum of the 3 people or the 5 people you surround yourself with. Maybe do a little inventory. Are the people you're surrounding yourself with rooting for you, pulling for you, leaning in for you? Because that's what the freedom of relationship does. And I'm going to bounce around between those 4 things and talk about that. In business, we talk a lot about the networks and partnerships, but the real freedom to me comes when those relationships aren't transactional, they are transformational. And by that, I mean, are they really transforming your life and your friends' lives? Or are they just about how many connections you've got in social media or on LinkedIn? Because we need to separate those 2 things. Again, are the relationships you're building, are they transactional, or are they truly being transformational in your life and those that of the people that you touch? And that's how you'll know, again, going back to those freedoms and being in line with your North Star, are you going in the spot that you want to be? And do you have the time freedom to do that? Do you have the financial freedom to be in those places that you want to be? And do you get to be with the people that you want to be surrounding yourself with? And at the end, that then points really towards that North Star, right? That freedom of purpose, that compass point, if you will. For us, the table wasn't just being at the table with the Young Life group, wasn't just a conference. It was like a reset. It was a place for us to humbly just step back, catch our breath, and say, are we aligned with kind of all the things we're working for and towards? Are we being able to give more, have more impact? And one of the statements that came out of that was purpose isn't found on a mountaintop. It's forged in our daily decisions, bringing it back down to base camp. And it was something we got to be rooted in that week, was not just looking up at where we're going, but also making sure that every decision that we make during the day, during the week, with the people we work with the friends we're surrounding ourselves with, are we really in alignment with where we're going? And it can be a decision that you make every day. As much as I'm helping people see what's next, it's not just in their careers, but in their lives. We've been spending time to do that. But the purpose that does give us direction and all those other freedoms doesn't matter much if it doesn't come with meaning. So I kind of keep reiterating that finding that North Star and where you're going does matter. And I'd say at the end, freedom creates alignment, right? So when you're sort of in this process of mastering those, getting those North Star items all pointed in one direction, it will end up in this alignment, both in happiness, I think, and just the place that you want to be. Coming back from 25 days on the road, on vacation, I'm sure you've been there. I've been there before. You get back from vacation, like I need a vacation from my vacation. After coming back from 3+ weeks on the road, I could not have been more refreshed because I got a chance in a very blessed way to be seeing it front and center from Young Life and those making global and eternal impact to this slowing down on the beaches of Bahamas, enjoying relationship and having deeper conversations around that. And then obviously spending time with Owen in Germany and laughing and watching him chase his dream. I don't know there's much more fulfilling as a parent than when you get to see your kids chasing their dreams, whether it's at work or at play. But it was really just a foundational reset for us. And my challenge to you will be, can you take 10 minutes and just silence the phone, preferably turn it off, throw it in a drawer. Take 10 minutes and just quietly reflect on, do you know what your purpose is? Do you know what your North Star is? Do you know what you're really chasing after? Is it a bigger bank account? Is it a goal you set at the beginning of 2025? Is it something that may be a little more material based, or is it really purpose based? Look, we never truly figure it out. I'm on that path every day. So I'm not speaking in a position of higher up and better than thou. It's really a self-challenge is where it started. That if you could imagine coming back from a trip, would you feel refreshed or exhausted? Is it about chasing the thing or is it about chasing a purpose? And so maybe just take 10 minutes and write down some thoughts that are the freedoms that you're working from time and money and relationships really pointing you towards that North Star and something that you can live out. Just a challenge, right? So I want to thank you for indulging me. It's great to be back in the studio. I'm just literally, as you can hear in my voice, so refreshed and empowered. I want to leave you with 3 kind of nuggets, if you will, of this. Freedom isn't something that you chase. It's something you align with. I was just talking about that with the North Star. When your North Star is clear, your money follows that meaning. And I can truly say that this abundance thinking of there will always be more to help you follow that passion and that purpose. It's in the old adage, do what you love and you won't want for money. We're getting a chance to live it out now, which has just been amazing. And purpose does give direction to all of those freedoms. So as you look at creating that freedom of time, that lower sort of foundational level, if it's aligned with your purpose, I think you'll find what needs to be in there and what doesn't. The money, if that's what you're chasing, is it aligned towards getting more to do more, or is it getting more just to have more? Are the relationships just about being transactional and adding more likes and things onto the plate, or is it really about the people that you want to be around? You've heard me say, I've got a no working with assholes policy. We try to do the best we can to pare down those relationships to ones that are really meaningful. So I hope this has been helpful for you. If it has, and maybe sharing this with somebody else who needs to hear it, maybe replaying it, like, subscribe, those things help build a bigger audience so we can impact more people along the way. Reach out. I'm answering plenty of DMs from those. Hey, I'm stuck in this journey of what's next and what is my purpose. And I have been about just chasing a goal or a dollar. If it makes sense to reach out and touch base with us, we'd love to help you out. We've got some frameworks that'll help at least let you put pen to paper and find some of that journey. But more than anything, we just love being with you on that journey and helping you discover what's next in your life, in your vocation, in your purpose. So thank you for joining us. It's so great to be back. And I look forward to seeing you on the next episode of What's Next.